That's the top esports way, right? They like to go for these champions that can work well at the early skirmish. On the upside though, Kramer bamboozles me, doesn't go for the Senna, actually going to go for the Jinx instead. So something that can again pair really well. Trading, not really working out as Knight now in a lot of
That was a little too close for comfort there for Knight. He'll be okay though. Xie is level 6. As Kramer takes a good chunk of damage in the bottom side. Yeah, top lane, you can see a dive is about to happen. Yeah, Costa's going for a dive. Observers, please let me look. Oh no!
By Qingtian as well. And LGD's top laner is done for.
Oh, we got more fighting. Casa, he's in the wrong portion of the map right here. There is a blast code. Maybe he can execute, I guess, is the best case scenario at this point. I don't know how recently he got hit. He's going to dodge a couple of shots. He's going to buy a bit of time, move all the way to the Nexus Towers.
Wait,
there's someone coming.
Going to give it to
Mark
Kramer?
might be able to die. The flash from Mark! And so far, Dagda, we've been able to catch basically none of the action in this game. We've joined in late on every fight. But Fairness is in trouble again, and oh my days.
I'm pretty impressed with the way LGD have been playing with like getting these at least these early advantages. But again, we're seeing that look, it's not actually a map. They want Qingtian to get ahead, get this pressure down, and try and accelerate the pace of this game, like we were talking about.
Well,
we already talked about the one-item spikes pretty much across the board for top esports. Well, they've hit them. The only person who doesn't have one right now is Karsa and also Zhou. I realized you'd read ahead in the script to know that this was going to happen.
Look, it's who I am. I make the scripts when it comes to the LPL. Hang on, we got a fight. Equalizer comes down. Costa's in trouble, but he'll get out with his life. And Xie pushed away as his shadow separated from the squad. Herald doesn't look like it'll get a charge off. Oh, cool. For LGD to properly contest this one. Shadow moving in. TP actually being channeled though. LGD look like they want this fight. Drake down to 3,000. Shadow is on the scene. Casa is here and he's pretty damn good at smite. There's an equalizer onto Kramer, who's low and forced away. Dragon taken down. Knight has a ticket into the play and he's splashed in. Beautifully done there by Knight. Patiently plays it and now he'll be rewarded with a couple of bonus kills. Wildgrowth comes through though. And this Gwen is invincible on the front line. Qingtian tearing apart the back line in the meantime. Kramer went down. Qingtian more than happy to tank this tower. And Mark, you may be Tom Kench, you may be the king of the river, but you ain't in the river no more. Zonya's actually, wait, she actually managed to TP out of the play. TP's back to his own base just to survive, but it doesn't matter. It's still 4 kills for top esports and a Drake on top of everything.
Brain or the worst play, and we won't know. It's Schrodinger's play.
Schrodinger's shuriken. It's got a nice pushing forward aggressively, and that's going to set him up to be able to just take this Drake. And now LGD, they're on a timer. You can't really afford to give up a soul. Even if it's a Cloud Soul, it's still a really tough objective to lose.
Times here with LGD. Kramer, though, still in this mid lane and actually taking a heap of damage.
And that's a perfect example of how slippery Kramer becomes in this competition. Qingtian gets his reward of a Scuttle Crab. Ping's going towards the Baron here from LGD, but there's a Cloud Drake coming up in 50. Choke point is the perfect spot for an equalizer if Casa finds the opportunity here. They're all grouped up. They've managed to find a kill. Onto the support, though. Down went Droll. Casa flashes over the wall, and now Knight buying time in the backside. Look at the damage he's doing. Mark goes down. Qingtian on the front, trying to tank up the damage, and he'll flash out with his own life. Casa barely gets out. There's Jackie here, half HP. They're all kind of stuck out in no man's land, but so is the enemy top laner. Fairness falls. This Qingtian now trying to re-engage. He's low on HP himself. The Gromp will be taken down for a bit of sustain. Jackie getting the healing. Has a red buff for health regen as well. Knight still in the play. Karsa headed back to base and now is returning to the fray once more, but the Drake should go down. That's Shadow taking that one. And top esports desperate to punish here. Knight is going to be able to go for the flank position. He's on to Kramer here. Only Xie here to protect the AD carry. Perfect execution. Flashed away from by Kramer, who's going to be able to get out with his life on the side of this one. Flash away from Knight to dodge away from the zap. Shadow should go down here, and maybe the Baron is on the cards instead. Talked about it earlier. It's only a Cloud Soul, so even if they don't get it, they still have the opportunity later, and it's not actually the end of the world that LGD get a Cloud Drake. Top esports.
They can then look again, so you can see these longer drawn-out fights. They favor LGD.
Gwen is looking like she's getting into the game here. A lot of damage, a lot of sustain coming through. The stopwatch comes out from Qingtian, but surely goes down, and Fairness finds himself the solo kill, the 1v1 turned around.
And he got the port in the bush, and maybe we get the LGD collapse.
Shadow's going to start this fight off. Definitely can't win the 1v1, but Knight has to be cautious if he's willing to contest. Okay, never mind. He doesn't have to be cautious at all. Turns out it's Knight on a Carly, and he's happy to go 1v3 on this one. His Shroud has run out, though. Uses the Zhonya's. Surely will go down here. The rocket comes through as Kramer is feeling a little bit greedy for himself, but won't be able to steal the kill away. Kasa in the bottom side. Even though Knight dies here, it should be traded for 4 items on the Jinx, and they have a whole composition built around keeping Kramer safe, letting Kramer be the hyper carry. They're pushing down the mid lane. Tier 2 already taken. Kramer takes these towers damn quickly, but an equalizer from Kasa denies anything more. That's a spell shield gone as well, taken by the Call of Meek. Xingtian wants to make his way in. Jacula playing with fire, moving in very close to the fray as well. They're all lined up and they're all getting burned down. LGD are falling apart on this one, and Kramer's still alive, but he's the only man alive off the back of this one, and Knight will not let him escape.
They just funneled themselves into a corner. Trying to push that far meant that they didn't have an escape route because Top Esports had already come in behind them. And perfect pins are coming in from Top Esports, and it means that there's just nothing left for LGD. And now with the TPs, Top Esports, they can close this out.
They might just be able to. Still 30 seconds on the death time as Xingtian and Knight both here, moving onto the towers. And I think this should just be enough time. There's only 2 of them, so it'll be slow going, but there's long death time, so they'll still get away with it on this one. Dr. Jackie Loves arrives, and that is going to be that. 12,000 gold lead as they close this one out. Top Esports looking on form today.
Yeah, it took a little bit longer than expected with at least a nice early game. But if the fight starts to go a little bit insane in the early stages and you need that peel, you've got the cask there. You can also buy space for Jackie if he suddenly gets jumped on by too many members of LGD.
The opposite here as he goes for a very early play alongside Garvey in the top side. Xingtian on this Gwen could be in trouble. Drops the Shroud. A lot of damage coming down. One more turret shot would have done it. Don't win that many games, and then after Chinese New Year, usually it turns out it didn't matter. As I'm going to stop my point for a second. Shadow's caught out, already used the flash, and he's going to go down. Kasa read him like a book. Easy. Yeah,
and especially if you are starting to look at these dragons and that, it does have the opportunity to try and punish Xie. But again, like, you need to see a little bit more here from Top Esports to try and actually punish that. It's not like, oh, hang on.
Bit of a commitment on the top side. Garvey gets another Sonic Wave. Xingtian has finished off his needlework. There's the last one. Equalizer comes in from Shadow. Xingtian surviving for now, but Shadow should be able to just burn him up. And that's the thing about
that kill, but unfortunately not going to be the case as Shadow does get up there. Karsa will get a dragon for himself on the bottom side, as we're probably going to see that Rift Herald traded here into the top lane to get that gold into Garvey and Shadow.
Yep, and I mean, this is what we talked about, right? They could go for the dive. They didn't even need to, because Xingtian went for the 1v1 against Garvey. And it means there was a huge window to make this play on the top side. Garvey is absolutely loaded. Shadow as well. Lethality Varus, notorious for it, in fact, does not scale that well. Karsa is not messing about. They know that there's no flash and they want to punish that fact. But Knight, he's stuck underneath the tower and he'll be taken down. That's the thing about the possessions that you get from Viego. It doesn't actually reset aggro. Even if you become invincible for a second, you still just die afterwards.
Yeah, Shuo's Lantern not quite in range as well. I was wondering if you see Knight just flash, take the Lantern and screw, trying to get the reset, but a bit deep, not expecting Shadow to be there. And it was a nice try, good setup from Karsa, but too many members from LGD there to answer. And now, LGD, they got control, but again, like, what were the key things we looked at? Dragon control. LGD needed to get this play so then they can actually force fights from Top Esports. Dragons haven't been touched by LGD. In fact, the first one goes super late over towards Top Esports. So although LGD are getting a lot of gold now and their mid game will be strong, Top Esports have the opportunity to ignore. Although, as you can see from this play, they don't always like ignoring team fights. It's pretty insane. I actually thought, you can see there, like, the Lantern's there. I thought Knight might just flash and take the Lantern and get out to safety, but not able to quite commit to that, and it means that now they will be able to get out.
Shadow just ruined them, though. The equalizer comes down, then the flame spit with the overheat. Karsa just melted before my eyes. And Karsa, interestingly, going for this Shirelia's battle song, but ultimately, when you look at the difference between the junglers right now, 4 kills on Shadow. He's easily the guy to watch moving forward into this mid game. Like, damage he's going to be doing with that Night Harvester already is going to be absolutely mental. Him, alongside Garvey as well, who finished a gold drinker very early on into this game. Feels like there'll be 2 of the members to watch out for. Okay, I thought JackieLove doesn't even take the land. You don't care about your chain of corruption, Kramer. There's nothing you can do here.
Yeah, I mean, very much aware that he's going to be all right there. And yeah, Shadow's bot side, but you still have a lot of members here as top esports. Now, they do need to be careful, right? Equalizer already up, and this is what I'm most impressed about with JackieLove and Show is how well JackieLove, in a lot of situations, not always, but when he sees a jungler on the opposite side of the map, how well he punishes that. Oftentimes stepping up crazy aggressively. He's so good at punishing every time you take a CS. And that's why we look at like just the lane. Oh, hang on. Might hold on.
Looking for a chance. Actually goes for the kick, knocks him back into the lane, trying to get rid of the minions so his Sonic Waves exist. Xingtian has support from Knight TPing in. Xia is already here. Shadow over the wall as well. Garvey jumps on out, but Knight wants a little bit more. The Heartbreaker comes on in, but Garvey's still surviving. The Equalizer burning through, and Garvey lives. Knight's the one to go down, and Shadow has the damage to finish these players off. Xingtian falls to the Flame Spitter. Xie wants a little bit more. Actually flashes for the Rune Prism, looking for the kill onto Kaza. One more auto finishes the trick.
Top esports meant the offense.
Yeah, Joel trying to close the gap onto Xie. Wants to be able to get the play before the hook. There it is. The box is there. It's too clean from Joel.
Triumph then to keep him safe. Carson can't even finish him off because the Shirelia's build. And then it's all gone disastrously for top esports. So 3 for 1 for LGD. So they're still coming out on top. And they should, I believe, actually they still haven't got that dragon on that bottom side. There it goes. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. Like Kramer with this poke build doesn't actually have. Ooh, hang on, Xingtian.
Oh no, Xingtian's gone way too far for this one. Shadow just waiting in the wing. CC with the Varus, with the Leona to set up for an equalizer that wins the game. Still like intrinsely in my brain, I see Lee Sin, I assume jungler. You know, like,
I mean, you've had
years.
a couple. You've had maybe like 2 months. It's been years, as you said. Not at least it has been a jungler. So I still do the same thing. We're like, no. Oh, actually, Realm Warp in, but they're not going to be able to catch him as Mark though. Gets show.
Or are they? Troll going to be locked up. Flashes off the equalizer, but he'll still go down here. You see, always being successful. The consistent teams is when they. Oh my goodness, another pick, another one onto Troll again, and the CC chain from the Leona. This Leona rumble.
And LGD will back away.
Yeah, they might look for a pick onto Caster though, who's a little bit too far up. The belly bot means the kick goes the wrong way. There's a Zhonya who's had a big ult from Caster, but it's not going to save him at the end of the day.
Going up against Garvey, but you've got no jungler here.
Yeah, Caster's still not up, and this is just going to be burnt down. LGD are going to be able to finish this one. Needlework across the team. There's a Zhonya's coming on in, a Lantern to try and get Xingtian out, but the ward over the Lantern. Here comes JackieLove. He's on the Aphelios. These are the kinds of fights that Aphelios is going to be able to do a lot of work in. There's AoE splash damage coming in. Knight on the backline as well, and LGD. Health bars are low. No way did top esports turn this fight around. No way did they turn this game around.
Remember what we said. It's exactly what happened. JackieLove manages to play out that fight. There's no equalizer to contest him on the backline. Garvey doesn't have access to him, and when he's got these 2.5 items, he can be a menace in those fights, especially with the Crescendum and Infernum guns. AoE splash across the team and a very rapid pace at that as well. So now top esports, yes, they lose out in that Baron, but they do get the fight.
Top esports, JDG, Knight and JackieLove 2v5 to the enemy squad. Seen it before, and now JackieLove's going to be caught up on top of an equalizer, though. He has a Hex Trigger, he has a Locket, and it's actually Mark that's going to go down. Oh, but the arrow from Kramer! Robin Hood is onto the rift.
Gets sniped out on the back line, but hold on a second, Garvey.
Another fight. Garvey's caught up here, already used the Gordrick of the sustain, and it will get him out to safety here. LGD back onto the mid lane tower once more.
Yeah, and you can see that Maw is going to be pretty crucial for JackieLove, but he's a sitting duck when he doesn't have that cleanse up available. Now LGD, 4-man strong, pushing in this mid lane. No ultimates, a lot of those key ultimates are down, whereas top esports still looking at Knight. Nothing else available though.
Ooh. Good damage coming out from Kramer here, and remember, still a 6,000 gold lead in favor of LGD. They are still the favorites in these fights. With the Baron, they're able to push in to this mid lane and be able to get themselves an inhibitor. The only problem with this I can see, Dagda, is that at the end of the day, there's a Viego that's going to build a lot of percent damage, and also there's an Aphelios. He doesn't struggle too much with the super minions, so that is going to be a lot of gold going the way. I just can't believe he survived as long as he did, with the Maw in his pocket, and then the Lantern coming out from Joel, as well as the lair. He can deal with it.
Yeah, top lane turret is going to go down. I don't think you try and mental defense here as top esports. That turret is one of the most difficult ones to try.
Not a classic pick comp. The way that it's operating does feel kind of like a pick comp, right? With the Leona and the Esports on a timer. And this is what you were asking for LGD to do hours ago. They've finally now got themselves on sole point. Here we go. Carter on the flank. Kramer knocked into the rest of the fray. And Knight's going to close the gap onto Kramer. Takes it down. Gets the reset and looks for a little more, but he's shut down himself. As the damage comes out from Shadow, we have a bit of a reset in the fight. He will now go towards the inhib. Top Esports can back away though. Equalizer, not the greatest we've ever seen. She's sticking to this.
Xingtian went to go for the teleport play, but it got cancelled by Mark. That's why Xie backed away. They weren't sure if they're going to get the cancel, but now Xie, he's going to try and rail warp out. There he goes, one more auto, and he sent it straight topside. The cannon minion even to tank it on the way out. It is gorgeous from Xie.
Oh, Dro's in trouble, but JackieLove is here and he wants Shadow. He accidentally hit the blast cone though with the Q. It auto-targets. And now Garvey's the target. Instead, they couldn't get Shadow. They can't get those shutdowns. But the consolation prize will be this Lee Sin. The hook comes out too early though. Caster's there to deny the escape. Now onto Mark they go. Great solar play to try and buy time. Arrows come in. Equalizer across the team as well. There's a chain of corruption. That's the reward Top Esports will reap.
And it was time the top esports needed. The scaling is online. 3 items across the board.
Trident compositions come alive.
Yeah, and it's so difficult for you to deal with them. They're not even going for a 1-3-1. I mean, they're just having Knight sit with them, push in. Xingtian is so big right now.
They still have a full minute on this Baron. The next wave's cannon will finish the mid tower, no matter what LGD does, unless they can force some kind of big engage. In fact, they don't even need to wait for the next wave. They couldn't deal with that one cannon. They've moved down to the bottom side to try and deal with Xingtian, who is just consistently putting this pressure on. But Top Esports now find their way into the mid lane. JackieLove has a lantern to get out on. Does have to back away. Can't commit too hard, but half of the damage down on that bot lane tower now. They just juggle this all the way. The cannons, once again, as you say, will finish the inhibitor. But he's going to TP to the mid lane instead. Just trying to burn this one down. In they go. It's going to be Shadow that does get it. But Shadow's been caught himself. Caster trying to 1v1 him. Knight is there. Garvey chased down by the rest of the squad. In come the arrows, but the damage just isn't there without Shadow. Shadow finished off, as is Garvey. Top GA TPs into the base. The inhib has respawned, but he's able to clear this one out. Recalls coming out across the team from Top Esports. I don't know if Xie has the damage. I don't know if the recalls are going to come off. Duo is there. There's an equalizer onto the rest of the team. JackieLove in trouble, but there's a kill coming out onto Marcus. JackieLove trying to finish things off. Xie in a 2v1, and Knight is there to finish him off. Knight does not have the TP available, but JackieLove has the damage to take these towers down. Carter and Xingtian there alongside him. Shadow, no equalizer. Garvey goes in to try and threaten the squad. Chain of Corruption comes out. There is no minion wave. And I think Top Esports have to back away once again. Side, and Top Esports are like, all right, you send 2 people bot. We're just going to blast through this Baron. Shadow, if he can make a steal happen here, will be the savior. Karsa is in the pit. Baron down to 2,000 HP. Karsa's 1 HP, but he manages to take it in the end. Shadow will go down. The recalls have to come on through. Look where Xie and Garvey are. They're trying to push, but Mark just moves in, trying to stop the recalls here, but he might just answer with his own life. Mark with his Zhonya's buying time, but Knight's already based. So they managed to save the day. They managed to get 2 kills for themselves. It's been traced for Karsa, but now the TP is going to come on through. And the rest of LGD have to somehow get back in. Xingtian finishes 1 tower off. They're trying to get a pick onto him, but it won't happen. JackieLove and Duo are on the way. Knight is going to play defense. He's making sure nobody is sticking around for cheeky backdoor plays. And Knight, no TP up available for him. But JackieLove gets back into the fray. This is the pick that they needed. Duo throws out the lantern, but it's not going to be able to find him. The GA comes through. Gets onto the... Somehow gets the lantern. JackieLove is out. Duo sacrifices himself, but gets a pull onto Kramer. Cleanse comes out. Garvey looking for more. Xingtian playing frontline, as is Knight, trying to protect JackieLove, protect the president here. The minions pushing into the base of Top Esports as we speak. Garvey looking for more. He's hunting through the jungle.
The respawns are coming through.
That wants to prove himself, wants to make sure that he is the solid top laner on this team. Flank from Karsa, big cask of shit, knocked into the rest of the team here. Knight threatening on the backline. Equalizer comes across. JackieLove gonna be stunned up, gonna be caught out. Doesn't have a GA, and he goes down onto Kramer. Go the rest of the team though. Knight and Karsa on the backline. Xingtian trying to finish off Shadow, who's the majority of the damage. And LGD, they're falling apart. Top Esports, after an entire game of being behind, find the fight that might just find them a victory.
It has found them the victory munch. 40-second death timers left. Mark will fall. Qing Tian will snip him down. And now they can look to close out the game. Karsa is on wave clear duty in the base. Azuo is going to push this in. 28 seconds left on Xie. Tower goes down for Qing Tian. Unless Xie can get some crazy TP win in here, it feels like it's done and dusted for LGD.
We've got 15 seconds until Xie is onto the map. There is currently a minion wave in the bottom side. Maybe there's like a TP into Realm Warp kind of play that can come out. I think that's the only way I can imagine. LGD holding on here. Jaculov straight onto the tower. In fact, it's Knight and Karsa onto the tower. Xie using the Realm Warp, trying to threaten, but it's not going to happen. Top Esports just go straight onto the Nexus. Kramer won't have damage, neither does Xie. The resets come on through. The equalizer is there. No way to hold on to this one. Knight is there onto the Nexus. He's just trying to finish it. He's playing as Rumble. I'm not sure that's optimal. He just goes for Kramer. He knows he's got this one in the bag. Takes down the Nexus, and Top Esports take a 2-0 win.